Now, I don't understand why some parents act so surprised when their kids go no contact, knowing damn well you treated that kid like a servant more than you treated them like a child.
Going no contact with your parents can be a very challenging decision. It involves cutting communication for your own personal and emotional health. It feels like your mental health needs a break, and the only way for you to get a break is to just go no contact. You may grieve the relationship with your parents whenever you are in that relationship. You start to realize that this situation is not going to go nowhere, so you start grieving them before actually going no contact. The going no contact, it don't happen overnight. Sometimes for a lot of us, it takes us years and years and years to actually learn that this is the best decision we can make. Guilt is common, especially with this culture families, that they make you feel like it's your fault. You're supposed to have a relationship with your parents. You're supposed to always have, no matter what, your parent is your parent. So they make you feel guilty for trying to go no contact when you know that that relationship is not healthy. No contact brings relief, a sense of safety, especially if the relationship was abusive and toxic. It's just something that you couldn't handle no more. Family and friends may not understand your decision, but that's something that they shouldn't understand. You shouldn't care about that. What matters is your own personal health, mental health, physical well-being, everything. What matters is you, not what your family and friends may be thinking. They could always be pressuring you to reconcile, but what you need to understand is that they're not living your life. They don't know what you went through. Of course, they're going to be pressuring you to reconcile, but they don't know what you went through. Only you know what you went through. And you know, for a lot of us, sometimes it's just better because you know that that family, that situation, that person is not going to change. They're not going to change. They're never going to take accountability. Feels a lot of pressure with the milestones in your life, like the weddings and parties and your family members. Sometimes you have to stop talking to other family members because you feel like, okay, what am I going to do with when I visit my grandma, or what am I going to do when I visit my brothers? Or, you know, it feels pressure for you to keep talking to your parents because of that situation. But you don't have to. Especially around the holidays, you can make it special on your own. Especially when the family start to take sides, I know that can be very, very struggling. Relationship was damaged, and no contact can actually improve your health, your well-being, and that's what we should be focused on. And for a lot of us, we grieve the relationship with your parents even before the no contact starts. So for a lot of us, going no contact after many, many years of that situation, of supporting that abuse, of trying to make that situation better, is actually the best move that you can do. So don't feel bad about going no contact with your parents. Don't feel bad about it. You tried your best. Sometimes those people are narcissists and they don't really understand that it's their fault. Whatever it is that they're doing, they don't get it. They don't understand it. In my case, I couldn't take it anymore. I was having panic attacks when I was like with that person living in that house. I was literally having panic attacks. Every time she would talk to me, she would yell. So I couldn't be there no more. I couldn't stay there no more. So I left, and yeah, I talked to that person for a little bit. I still talk to that person for a little bit, but then after a few months, I was like, you know what? I do not need this. I do not want this, because you realize that the person has not changed. The person is still the same. And you just get this very anxiety feeling when you know that you have to answer that person. And that happened to me. I was like, you know what? I can't handle this no more. I don't see that person anymore, not much, because I moved away, but I cannot handle talking to that person anymore. I need to give myself some time to heal. I need to give myself some time to just a break from all that bad, negative energy. These parents are extremely lucky that all they're receiving is silence instead of rage, because a lot of us have a lot of rage in our hearts that we can actually put it out there, put it towards them, but we decide to be the bigger person and not do it. We decide that the best situation is just to go silent. Contact is a lying sentence, because a lot of the parents, they don't even remember what they did. They think that they did nothing wrong. They keep thinking that all they did was just erase you the best I could. There's no handbook. There's no handbook for me. I was a parent only by myself. Like, I didn't know what to do. That is no reason, no motive for be a bad parent, for be an abusive parent. They think they deserve a spot in our lives just because they raised us. Always the victim. Somehow they're always the victim, and always we children were always the villain. These type of parents think that they don't need to change. They simply don't. They think they don't need to change. They think that's not the issue, and they don't really acknowledge any bad doing. They think, I don't know why they don't talk to me. Not realizing that 4 of your 5 kids are not talking to you. You don't see a pattern in that situation. You don't see no pattern. What do you mean 4 of your 5 kids are not talking to you, and you still think that you did no wrong? Life wasn't that bad. Come on. You, in your perspective, you think my life wasn't that bad. You don't see it from my perspective. They push us to have some sort of accountability when they don't have no accountability at all. Somehow it's always us that have the bad attitude. Always. When we're just trying to defend ourselves. So tell me what you think about this situation in the comments. Tell me if you have experienced any of this. What is your situation about the no contact? How did you handle it? Are you still handling it? Or do you want to go back? Do you want to talk to them? Or do you feel like it was the best decision that you could ever done? Tell me about the situation in the comments, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.
I've been seeing a lot of parents express how they feel victimized and confused by their adult children's decision to go no contact on this app lately. So as someone who survived her own traumatic childhood and became a trauma therapist largely as a result of it, I thought I would provide some clarity on this topic. You should count your blessings if the extent of the consequence as a result of your behaviors is that your adult children have stopped speaking to you. You're lucky that your adult children aren't practicing the principle of treat others how you would like to be treated when it comes to you. Do you remember the treatment you exposed us to as children? Consider it a luxury that some of you parents were so blacked out with rage or substance abuse that you don't. But we do. In fact, we spend years and thousands of dollars healing the wounds that you inflicted upon us on what for you was just another Tuesday. Some of you should have been sterilized. And let's be clear that many of you parents abandoned your children long before they made the decision to remove themselves from the relationships with you. In fact, some of you never showed up for the relationships in the first place. And don't pin your loneliness on your adult children leaving. You're lonely because of your inability or unwillingness to address your own unhealed traumas. The fear and pain of which fuel the abusive behaviors that alienate you from intimate relationships with others, including your kids. And despite many misconceptions, we do not expect perfection. Although in many cases, even as children, that was certainly the expectation placed upon us. Progress happens in a series of a billion baby steps. And your adult children are not responsible for doing the legwork for you. Especially when many of us are busy doing our own healing legwork so we don't repeat these toxic patterns with our own children. Which in my opinion is the bravest thing that we can do, in addition to a true testament to how dedicated we are to parenting better than we were parented. Of course, despite our best efforts, our children will still have their own opinions about the experiences of being parented by us. And when those moments come, the kindest thing that we can do for our own kids is acknowledge and apologize. Not because we were bad parents, but because even the best parents make lots of mistakes. Because reparenting yourself while parenting your own children is messy business. If maintaining relationships with your parents is making it hard for you to be the type of parent you want to be with your kids, I need you to choose your kids. That's a painful position that no person should ever be put in. But you have the power to make different choices, and I promise that your own life and the lives of your children will all be better as a result. Have a nice day.